What's going on, guys? My name's Dynasty. What I got for y'all today is another Mortal Kombat 11 video. Got for y'all some bittersweet news because we now know it's confirmed from Boon himself that fan-favorite classic minigames like Puzzle Combat, Chess Combat, and Motor Combat will not be making a comeback, which is such a bummer. That's something I was hoping for. Maybe one minigame making a comeback, but nope! No minigames alongside Tag Team Mode. Tag Team Mode also, apparently, according to Boon, will not be in the game, but the Crypt is coming back, and apparently it's meant to be the best one ever. Also, fan-created character Chrome is confirmed to not be in the game, and lastly, Boon does tease the idea that a certain character's face model is going to be modeled after a certain person that's gonna, like, break the internet, per se. So there's a lot to discuss. So with that said, let's break all this stuff down and let's get into it. So first things first, this is coming from the Angry Joe Show. I love Angry Joe and Brian Tong, who were in attendance at the Mortal Kombat 11 reveal event in Los Angeles. They got a chance to sit down with Boon for like 10 minutes and just pick his brain. I highly recommend watching the full interview. In this video, like I mentioned, I'll be talking about what was mentioned at the beginning of the video, but they ask him a ton of other things, so it's worth watching both interviews inside the description of this video. Kicking things off though with the Angry Joe portion of these interviews. So Joe is asking Boon, another thing you guys do really well is the additional stuff. In addition to the fighting, and in addition to the challenge towers, in addition to all this other metagame, you have a crypt with these different modes. Are we seeing cart combat or a crypt of some kind? From there, Boon says, there is going to be a crypt and it's our best one. I wish we could get a little more, probably later we'll talk more detail of it, but yes, there is a crypt. We're not going to have cart combat or anything like that. Angry Joe says, puzzle combat, chess combat, you guys go crazy with that sometimes, Ed. And Boon says, yeah, but we've put so much resources into the story mode and the Towers of Time, which is really cool. It's kind of like a combination of the multiverse and Injustice and the Living Towers of MKX. We've just beefed them up huge amounts and the whole game is just filled with secrets. So that was, for me, a shot to the heart, a dagger in my chest, man. I was looking forward to maybe seeing one of these classic game modes make a return, but according to Boon, they're not. But it is cool to see that indeed the crypt is coming back, but we all kind of assumed the crypt was coming back. Every recent Mortal Kombat game I could think of has had the crypt where you guys can go in there and unlock either like moves or characters or arenas or concept art. So it only made sense that the crypt is coming back. Also, when you consider the fact that during the current build of the game that I got to play, there's like a section that says collection that you can't click on. I'm pretty sure collection is probably like the crypt. So yeah, the crypt is coming back, but puzzle combat, chess combat is not. And it just continues to be even worse because tag team mode is not coming back. So in regards to tag team mode, Angry Joe said, what about, tag team? Last time I talked to you, I was like, I really like tag team, and you mentioned how no one played it and the percentage was low. Is tag team mode making a return? Or Boon says, well, nobody played it, the percentage is low. And of course, he's just kind of poking fun at Joe. And Joe comes back saying, just because it's low, Ed, it doesn't mean it can't blow up again, you know what I'm saying? And Boon says, it's a cool thing, but with every Mortal Kombat game, it's kind of like we only have so much time and so many people, so at some point, we gotta say, let's do this, and let's drop that. So yeah, tag team mode is not making a comeback for the second game in a row, and it's such a bummer because it seems like every current fighting game out there on the market is like just benefiting from the idea of tag team. And I look at Dragon Ball FighterZ and everybody loves that game. Part of it because, guess what? There's a tag team mode. And I was hoping that maybe it would be featured, and we saw glimpses of it inside the Towers of Time where you could actually call like a character to go in there and assist you. So that's kind of like a tag team mode, but at the same time, it's not your traditional tag team mode. So yeah, no mini games like chess combat, puzzle combat, motor combat, and no tag team mode. They put all their focus into the gameplay of the game, the customization aspect, the story mode, and yeah, the Towers of Time. And it's a bummer, but I guess we can kind of say we saw it coming, but I still have my hopes up. Now moving on to the second interview that Boon had with Brian Tong. Brian Tong discusses a few noteworthy things, including fan service type characters, and he brings up the character called Chrome. So Brian Tong says, so we know that there was like this statue that was made, and it ended up being like a Chrome statue. You know where I'm going here. And the community is like, they should make a character named Chrome. Is there going to be any other type of fan service characters in this game? From there, Boon says, other than just the big character returning, that'll absolutely happen. From there, Brian Tong says that you haven't shown off yet, right? Boon says exactly, but I don't think we're gonna get something like everybody's talking about animalities. Let's put animalities. Everybody's talking about Chrome. Chrome is not in the game. Brian says, this is official. We're breaking hearts, Ed. And of course, Boon says, exclusive right here, Chrome is not in the game. So there you have it. There's been a bunch of speculation for a couple of years now about this fan-made character ever making the cut, and he's not. So yeah, hate to be the bearer of bad news for those who were looking forward to that maybe happening, but it's not, at least inside of this game. Now moving on to the next portion of the interview, Ed Boon's discussing how pretty much the graphics in Mortal Kombat 11, what goes into making the game what it is, and he talks about like the technology aspect of MK11. So Boon saying, this game is almost, in some respects, a nod to how we did our first Mortal Kombat game, where we're grabbing real faces. Our faces are actors. We find real people and we scan their face. It's not a 3D model. We're not sculpting like a nose or a face. It's actual real people. And I'll tell you this, we have a huge surprise coming up for a face you're gonna see in Mortal Kombat 11. That's all I'm gonna say. From there, Brian Tong's kind of freaking out and he says, Ed, so it's gonna be a character that'll be a recognizable face that you'll eventually announce. And then Boon says, I'm not gonna answer that question. You're inching a little too close. It's what I said. So this has my mind going crazy right now because I think everybody can assume if they do something like that, it'll be just Ronda Rousey as, you know, Sonya Blade, which makes the most sense. But if it's gonna be a huge surprise, it can't be just like Ronda's face being Sonya, right? It has to be someone else. And that got me thinking, I'm like, man, who could it be? Could they bring back the original Mortal Kombat cast from the first film and have like the OG actors play the role as these characters in this game? Maybe. I would kill to see Christopher Lambert as Raiden. We've been asking for a Christopher Lambert Raiden skin dating back to Mortal Kombat 9, so yeah. That got me going kind of crazy. I'm trying to think of who else it could be. Maybe if it's a guest character like the Terminator, maybe Arnold is thrown in there as like the character model they face scan. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a character that could have their face scanned. That's such a huge surprise that all of us would freak out on. I think a lot of you guys could probably come up with better ideas than I can. So I bring you the question, who do you think he's talking about? Using the current roster we have right now, what's gonna happen? Like, who could be, you know, face scanned into this game that makes sense? I don't know. Ryan Reynolds is Johnny Cage. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that I don't know. So anyways, that is all I got for y'all today. Again, courtesy of the interviews that Angry Joe and Brian Tong had with Ed Boon this last week. If you guys want to watch the full interviews, I highly suggest you do. They're super informative. Links down below. Both great channels, great guys. Anyways, what do you guys think of everything that was mentioned? I'm still really bummed out that this idea that tag team mode wouldn't be used in a game like MK11 is the reason why they didn't see a purpose to work on it. Like, I feel like everything's changed. I feel like people were embracing this whole tag team mode aspect in fighters, and it could have been a game changer, I think. Not to say that MK11's gonna suck or anything, because it's not, but I feel like tag team mode would have just been the icing on top, and everybody was asking for that, alongside minigames like Motor Combat, Chess Combat, Puzzle Combat. It sucks. These companies are so afraid to take risks like that, and I don't blame them because, you know, you got WB there and stuff, so it's a bittersweet thing. I guess it's just cool to see Boon at least acknowledge that there is a want for that, so maybe in the future they do make a comeback in a future game, just not right now, which is a bummer, and it sucks. Let's be honest, it sucks that it's not MK11, but hopefully the story mode is super long, and hopefully this Towers of Time game mode really is as jam-packed as they're making out to be. When I played it, I liked it. It was cool. I don't think you can compare that to something like Chess Combat, though, in terms of, like, you know, uniqueness. I feel like Chess Combat was a lot more unique versus just a tower game mode with a bunch of modifiers. But that's just my opinion, of course. What do you guys think of everything? Let me know inside the comment section below. If you did enjoy the video, please take 1 second, drop a like on it. Of course, subscribe for some more MK11 content next time. I've been your host, Been Dynasty. You guys, please take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.
One of the greatest. You deserve more exposure, man, you underrated. To all the Dynasty haters, promise you'll love him later. Y'all gon' react like he did when he seen the trailer. But hold up, let me hit y'all with a twist. Wait, I'm Sub-Zero, the rap game is the Lin Kuei. You see, I've been a fan of Dynasty for years now. GTA, MK, and Justice, I'm still down. Rapper meets gamer, I wonder how